Hi, this is Diane Camenzuli from Weeping Silence, and you're listening to Metal Wani. Hello, how are you?
I am doing great. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks.
You
I'm
know,
very relaxed. It's Sunday and I'm very relaxed here.
there are readers, there's our staff members, and there are so many people who like Gothic metal, who like doom metal. So, give us a description of what you sound like so that everybody gets an idea.
Okay, so first of all, thank you for this interview. And I want to say hi to all the metalheads listening, following Metal Wani. Well, basically, we play a blend of Gothic Doom metal, but I must say with a sound and ambience that makes us different from the purely Gothic or Doom bands.
Right.
We also have a male growler. He does also some clean parts. And myself on vocals. You can have a listen to some of our tracks on YouTube or Reverb Nation if you'd like.
That's wonderful. So, the band has started close to like 2 decades ago, and you guys started playing mainly with the atmospheric doom metal. And as time passed on, you guys changed the style. What could be described as atmospheric Gothic metal with doom influences. So, what was the change in sound? What led to this change?
This evolution in our discography was mainly due to the high turnover of band members, I must say. Weeping Silence, so a total of 13 members now in all. And obviously, each member introduced his or her musical influences, the sounds and techniques, obviously rendering the albums different from each other. For example, End of an Era was more atmospheric doom, and Theatre of Life was more symphonic, but it had a faster pace and more orchestrations. Whilst for the Unsung, our last album is heavier, more doom-oriented, and also with the introduction of Maes Grouse. Then there's even Anders Jacobsen featuring on the album for the Unsung.
Right. That's cool. So so is it basically like, since there are so many members, you have the same vision towards the music, but the influences vary?
Yes, we have a lot of different influences, but I think, yes, we have the same vision. We are all very committed. I must say we are all in the same wavelength with regards to what we want from the project.
Right.
And actually, we are now moving direction again towards a deeper doom sound.
Okay.
But with many elements from our previous album also.
Okay, that sounds great. So this, it feels like a hidden treasure in your sound that is largely underground. Maybe because your music was not promoted, or since there's been a very long delays between each album. So that kind of makes your album something of a very time capsule-ish, rather than reflection of Weeping Silence's current sound. So with so many delays, how is it going to sound now with your new album?
Well, always it takes time to build a fan base, and even to find effective promoters, it is very difficult now, especially nowadays. But having said that, the albums were released in 2008, 11 and 12 respectively, so I don't think the gap between one release and another was that huge, actually. Yet the first 2 albums were recorded some years before they were released, making them, as you say, a time capsule, I think, with all the good and bad it brings with it.
I completely agree with that. And now, since we're talking about the new album, I'm aware that the band is releasing an album this year. So, how is the songwriting compared to the previous albums?
As I said before, we are changing or evolving
Getting
again, I
into
must
more
say.
doom-oriented sound.
And since both Dario and I are new, and because the guys have incorporated new musical influences, of course.
Right.
The fourth album shall be recorded sometime later this year, hopefully.
Okay.
Hopefully it will be released either later this year or by early 2015.
Okay, that sounds great.
Every band member has her own compositions in the album, and I think lyrically it is also going to be much darker and more poetic, and musically more technical when compared to previous albums. But this album will definitely have a slower pace at times, and then again also a very aggressive edge. I guess you have to judge for yourselves, but we hope to deliver something that is worth some attention, eh?
Oh, that's really great. Now we're talking about the music, so from the music point of view, probably I'll get to know once the album comes out. But if we talk about lyrics, there's more like a poetry, which flows with your songs. So,
yes, it is.
But it's not, the poetry is not just dark. It's also, it has a very good ending, which is more like, end of the, light at the end of the tunnel. So, what approach you guys gonna take now on the upcoming album?
Well, a lot of themes will feature in the lyrics. Themes such as helplessness and hope, death, the afterlife, betrayal, imagery of personal doom. And yes, I shall say that in the new set of lyrics there will definitely be silver linings too.
Oh, that's cool. Now, you joined the band a few years back, and Rachel was their longtime vocalist. You replaced her. So
I joined in 2012, last year.
Right. Previous year.
Yeah, previous year.
Yeah. So
I've been with them like for 1 year now, 1 year and a half, something like that.
1 year and a half, right. So Rachel was part of the band from the beginning, and she has seen all the change and the variations happening in the band. And her voice is what recognizes Weeping Sign's sound when you guys play live. So when you replaced her, there would have been many challenges that you had to face. So what were those challenges, and how difficult was it for you to overcome those?
One has to understand, Owais, that different singers have different vocal techniques.
Absolutely.
They have different vocal ranges, they give different interpretations.
True.
And they also have a different timbres and etc. They're never-ending list,
Right.
But I think every voice is an instrument on its own. And thus the biggest challenges for me were to reproduce all the vocal lines and also to improvise on the songs, which were already recorded in order for my voice to fit in the tracks. And obviously people expect a lot when there is a change in the band members, and subconsciously you know that you cannot be the one messing up things. So at first still we regained the trust of the fans. It was quite stressful, I must say. However, I think people were quite receptive and gave me and Dario a lot of support.
You would have faced the same expectations and challenges when Rachel, left Weeping Silence and you joined them.
Yes, as I said before, there were big challenges for me and Dario when we joined the band. As I said before, people expect a lot from you.
Right.
And they expect you to be even better, sometimes.
True.
And yes, I must say it was quite a challenge to fit that place,
Right. I agree with that. Now, we have seen many successful bands where the females are leading, and then they have put a mark on music in terms of their vocal skills. Be it Lacuna Coil's Christina or Epica's Simone Smith, and the list goes on. There are many examples. What do you think about your capabilities in terms of, leading your skills and put a mark on Weeping Silence music?
Well, I think in the new compositions, I experimented with different vocal lyrical techniques, and I use different vocal pitches, and also worked to make sure that every song has a unique vocal line.
Okay.
Because something that I hate is not being able to distinguish one song from another, you know. I am also very happy with the fact that every band member is going to contribute to the next album.
Songwriting.
Yeah, including myself. You know, it gives me a lot of satisfaction. But I really cannot say what the fans will think I added dynamically, because to the band's, I mean, overall sound.
Right.
However, the band is trying to go for a female voice that is now not soprano.
Right.
Theatrical or overall high pitched. This time we went for a mellow and at times like distinctive voice. And I can't wait to hear what you think once you get to hear the album.
Sounds great. Now, Dario is also part of the band, and he sings along with you. So now you have your own vocal range, and Dario is basically a growler. So that probably gives you a nice interaction between the lyrical characters you guys come up with. So how do you guys go about managing things between you?
That's the hard musical element to put your finger on.
Right.
Sean writes most of the lyrics, and he takes the time to explain why we're together during rehearsals. He takes time to explain what is being said and how it should be expressed in the vocal interpretation.
Right.
And I think from there, quite honestly, it is a matter of trial and error until we're happy with what we have. And even when I write the lyrics, this can take time.
Right.
It can take a lot of time.
I agree with that. And now, when we talk about metal music, it makes a lot of difference. That's my personal opinion. It makes a lot of difference when there's a male or a female in this business. What about you? Do you think is there a difference, having a male or a female in the metal band?
I don't really agree with you. I don't think it makes a big difference because I think if you're up to standard and when you satisfy the listener, I think doesn't make a big difference.
Okay.
However, obviously there may be some cultural or religious stigmas which might affect how a singer is perceived,
Right.
And every singer has his or her own characteristics, and I think it all depends to whether the audience likes those characteristics.
Right, I agree with that. Now, how nervous were you when you went on stage for the first time?
I was really nervous, even Dario. It was our first time. We didn't know how the audience was going to perceive us. We were really excited, and even because of sound, I wanted a particular sound, and sometimes it's very difficult to get the right sound on stage.
Right.
So a lot of things were in my mind.
Yeah. Now, in a genre like Gothic or Doom, do you agree that one has to be able to understand the complexity with regards to its, let's say, music as well as the lyrical content?
I think maybe yes and maybe no. I guess you can appreciate a superficial listening of the music. I think for me, although a deeper appreciation requires an understanding of the lyrics and even how they interplay with the musical composition too.
Right.
But I don't really think you'd need an understanding of musical technique. I think an appreciation of the feel being transmitted sometimes is just enough,
I agree.
And I can say people that understand what's going on endorse it for life. And in fact, although the scene is relatively small when compared to other genres, I think fans are really loyal long term in this genre.
That's cool. Wonderful. Now, you've released few albums, so how has been the sales in terms of for your fans buying CDs?
As you know, there is a big problem worldwide for artists to sell merch.
Right.
Although the amount of merch sold in this genre is very low and might not cover all the expenses.
Right.
All the expenses. I think fans are very loyal and support the bands, and but we can't pretend
right.
a lot from this nowadays, you know.
Yeah, well, from your observation, how do people respond, in terms of buying CDs when a Gothic album is out, or let's say a doom metal album is out?
As I'm saying, it's very difficult to sell merchandise nowadays because of the internet, you know.
Right.
And the access the easy access to music. However, I think there are still a lot of people that understand this concept and they still want to buy the CDs to support the band. So, and that is really appreciated by every artist, I think.
Absolutely, it surely is. Wonderful. It was a nice discussion. So let me just keep it on a more interesting side. If we talk about vocalist, who's your favorite, Simone Simmons or Christina Scabia?
Simona Simmons, I must say.
Why?
I think she has a beautiful timbre, vocal timbre, and also great vocal techniques.
Right.
And I think even the way she interprets her songs, I appreciate that she writes a lot of lyrics, and she's very philosophical, you know. So
okay,
I think
that's
I
really
respect
cool.
her a lot.
Wonderful. And what about your Epica album? Which is your favorite Epica album?
It's a good question. But I think my favorite is the Divine Conspiracy. I think it's very philosophical. I like how they write, and I really appreciate that it comprises not only very good music, but the lyrics are fantastic, and the way they revolve around the concept that God created different religions, but in reality they are all the same, you know.
I agree with that.
And even the orchestral arrangements were very, very magnificent, and they inspire me a lot.
That's wonderful. I should tell you this, that they released a new single few days back. Although the song is really good, but the lyrics suck.
Really? I haven't had the chance to listen to that album, but I will have to find some time.
Just check out that single. There is a lyric video on YouTube. Check it out. Although the music is top notch, unfortunately the lyrics are sad. So
that's sad.
Let's hope the album is good.
That's very sad to hear, but
yeah. Anyhow,
we'll see.
Yeah, of course we'll see. And is there any favorite artist on your radar which you think, wish I could share a stage with them?
I think I've already shared stage with a great band, Tyrion, last August in Belgium.
Christopher Johansson.
Yes.
Wonderful guy.
Yes, great people. We also had the opportunity to meet them personally, and they are really nice, not only professionally, but they are excellent personally.
Indeed.
They are really nice. But I guess if I have the opportunity to choose who to share the stage with, I would choose Sharon Denadel from Within Temptation.
Okay.
I think their music is very touching, and it inspires.
You heard the new album?
Hydra, yeah?
Yes.
Hydra.
Yeah, Hydra.
Not all of it, but I was hearing parts of it. Yes, they are brilliant musicians and vocalists, not just on stage. Not just recorded, but also on stage. And that's what I appreciate most about them.
Wonderful. Well, that's about it. I don't know when I'm gonna have that privilege to see you guys live, but whenever in future it's possible, I'll surely catch you guys live at Malta.
Thank you. We look forward to maybe come to India one day. Yeah?
Of course, you have to
come. We're in India.
More than guys will find chicks coming to the shows.
Yes, they can be fans of I have a lot of male musicians in our band, so it's not a problem.
I agree with that. So, what are the plans for for this year, apart from coming up with an album? So, any tours or any kind of shows coming up?
Basically, we're focusing on the fourth album now. We had to cancel shows because of that, but currently we are part of label Ravenheart Music Records.
Yes.
Which is also giving us a hand with finding, doing stuff and new material, and we have also booking agencies like Limelight Productions. They book shows in Europe, and Hydra Productions and booking agency too. And we also have a management deal, Luga Music.
Right.
They manage bands like Morning Beloved, Jack Frost, Saturnus. So I think we have a lot in the pipeline coming up, but